Hello and welcome to another installment of Metallic Reviews, the show where I take an honest look at the harder, heavier side of music and give it an honest rating. Today we get a little bit silly around here as we dive into a band that hasn't released any new material in a decade, yet they are absolutely beloved by metal fans the world over for their antics both on and off the small screen. Yes, it's animated Melodeath pioneers Dethklok and their new one, Dethklok-Dethalbum 4, out August 25th on Water Tower Music. Or in other words, it was released by Warner Brothers' in-house label. In any case, Dethklok have a pretty storied history when it comes to their relationship with metal fans. Now, for people who may not know, the group was created by Brendan Small for the Adult Swim show Metalocalypse. Now, not only did he make the group, but he also plays guitar and offers vocals as the intimidating yet decidedly dim-witted Nathan Explosion. Together with his group of equally dim-witted bandmates, Explosion would go on adventures in each episode. Now, after a decade away, they've returned with an album that's not too far off of what made their first three so universally enjoyed. So let's dive in and see how they did it. Now, Dethklok's music has always been built on this idea that metal should be listenable while also being brutal, and I use brutal kind of loosely here. You know, that's one of the elements of genius that populated both the show and the accompanying albums. They poked fun at metal's brutality and this idea that the best metal bands are automatically the ones that write these excessively heavy slabs of music. They take that and completely flip it on its head, adding in elements of melody that are featured more on albums by bands like Amorphous and Dark Tranquillity, more the melodic death metal side of things. Toss in Brendan Small's excellent vocals, and you've got the makings of yet another severely good Dethklok release. From the pummeling first notes of album opener Gardener of Vengeance all the way to the end of album closer Mermaider 3, the band don't really let up. They just don't. But they never allow their musical ambition to overcloud the simplicity of everything they're playing. This isn't the most complex record, far from it in fact, but it puts forth its offerings with such vigor and such determined confidence that you can't help but pay attention. While the aforementioned album opener is my personal favorite off this album, I've got to give it up for tracks like Mutilation on a Saturday Night and Horse of Fire, which are more prime examples of the band's confident simplicity. While this may not quite be the throwback to the first Death album that some may have hoped for, it's still definitely Dethklok. The production is big and very wide open, allowing each piece to just kind of float around until it hooks together in one collective bit of metallic joy. I am also proud to report that Skwisgaar and Toki, or in more realistic terms, Brendan Small, who did all the guitars on this record, they haven't lost their guitar skills. The interesting harmonies between the twin electrics are a bit lost in some places, but other than that, this one's a great exhibition of solid, honest guitar work. Gene Hoglan returns in his role as Pickles the drummer. Ding dong doodly doo, ding dong doodly doodly doo. I mean, yeah, you know that. Hoglan remains one of the greatest drummers in the history of metal. It's not hard to see why, especially here. Everything is precise and very sharp without leaving the casual listener completely out of touch. It's not technical, nor is it so simplistic that it leaves you wanting more. The footwork is of particular note as Hoglan/Pickles moves his feet with such deft dexterity that it feels as if you're watching him work right in front of you. Most of the notes are placed properly, with one or two feeling a little off-kilter, just a little offbeat. This is especially true on the track I Am the Beast, which is Dethklok's most progressive track to date. Yeah, they kind of leave the straightforwardness of the rest of the record to play around with these really weird time signatures. It's not terrible by any means, but it does throw a bit of a curveball into a record that had been very, 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 very straightforward so far. On the downside, the album does suffer a bit from the classic, what I call the Dethklok issue. The first half is better than the second half. Now, it's not by very much, but it's true. While songs like Deadface and Satellite Bleeding aren't awful, they don't really measure up to some of the absolute bangers like, again, Gardener of Vengeance, Aortic Desecration, Poisoned by Food. Those are just really good stuff. Are going to become Dethklok classics, I would say. But the record does end on a high note as the band finishes their ostensible and extremely catchy trilogy of Underwater Homicide with Mermaider 3. Overall, Dethklok have released yet another record to be enjoyed by clock fans from here to Australia, or in this band's case, the invertebrates at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Anyway, it's excellent. While it may not win Album of the Year on my channel, it is yet another fiery release from a band known for giving their fans exactly what they want. Dethklok-Dethalbum 4 is very recommendable, and I'm proud to give it a strong 4 out of 5. Thanks so much for watching. Click like and please don't forget to subscribe for more Metallic reviews. Next week, we're going to be shifting gears once again back into the metalcore world, taking a look at Polaris' new album, Fatalism. I hope you join me. You've been watching Metallic Reviews, where I give honest ratings to honest music, and I will see y'all next time.